Guys, new myth just dropped. This is a new Sumerian tablet that was actually published in February of this year, but it is new to me, so it's new to you guys too. It is called Of Captive Storm Gods and Cunning Foxes New Insights into Early Sumerian Mythology. Let's get into it. Let me set the stage. This starts out with just good times. Good times are flowing, the crops have water, the land is plentiful. This is a time of abundance, a very idyllic time. And one of the storm gods, Ishkur, he is one of two storm gods who actually is the abundance bringing storm god. So think of like torrential, floods or storms that, wreak havoc on the land. Ishkur is not that guy. He brings good things for the land. He nourishes the land. In the beginning of this myth, he has multicolored cows roaming the land. It's very evident that times are good. And Ishkir is the son of Enlil, which is kind of like the supreme deity in the Sumerian mythology. And this leads Ishkir to be wanted, I guess. So he is abducted. And they don't, because of the missing, parts on the tablet, they don't exactly know how they went about and got him. But they take him to Kur, which is Sumerian for like the underworld, or it can be translated to like foreign lands. And it's said that he is taken to the underworld with the cows. But the cows in the underworld are feeding on grass that's there, but it has no nourishment. And I think the cows die. I could be paraphrasing. But yeah, back up on regular land, because Ishkur's in the underworld, things are not going well. All that abundance, all that niceness, all that crop plentifulness is gone. Things are not looking good. Um, Babies that were born, if they were born, would die because they didn't get any nutrients. So very sad times. Um, so Daddy Enlil is like, I gotta get my boy back. Gathers up all the gods and says, who's gonna go get my boy because we gotta fix this situation. Things are getting bad fast. And a cunning fox. They call him Fox. I was a little confused. It's like it's not a fox. It's like his name is just Fox. But it seems like it's probably some sort of like human fox deity, but they just call him Fox. He's like, you know what? I'll do it. And then pretty much like it breaks off, and then at the like when and a lot of that text is missing. I mean, you can see there's like definite, parts where we're missing context. But it jumps back in and it's like, okay, Fox will go to the underworld. But then Fox gets to the underworld and he is immediately offered some bread and water. But this cunning fox knows better than to eat and drink it. And he also pretends like he does and hides it away so that they don't get wise, I guess. Because, and this is very interesting, that this is very similar to the story Hades and Persephone in the underworld. Whenever Hades was so in love with Persephone and he wanted to bind her to the underworld, and she's so hungry she wouldn't eat, she just didn't want to be there. Obviously, she got abducted, but he offers her pomegranate and she eats the pomegranate seeds and tricked ya, that's what binds you to Hades forever. So then they had to make the deal with her staying half the time in Hades, half the time in the regular world. Anyways, I digress. I just think it's very interesting that these myths, they be telling the same stories and we just figured this one out. It's crazy. Anyway, so the fox is down there in the underworld being very smart and wise and making very thoughtful actions. But the end of the tablet arrives and the rest of the tablet around it was lost. So we don't really actually know how it resolves. These scientists definitely fill in context based on, other mythologies and stories and periods of abundance and everything. So they think, this is how they think the rest of it goes, that the fox saves Ishkir, brings him back up. Ishkir's able to get that abundance going again, and the time of prosperity is back. Very interesting. I wonder, like, you know, what the time dilation is. Like, how long was this period of instability and, lack of nutrients and lack of water and everything? Like, how long did it take for, um, the fox to get Ishkir back up to start, having the land be nourished again? Very interesting. And relating it back to the Greek myths again, because I just can't not see the parallels between Hades, Persephone, and Demeter is Persephone's mother, who is the goddess of agriculture. And it's said that whenever Persephone has to go down back to the underworld for half a year, Demeter is very sad and she can't put her, energy into the land anymore. And so that's analogous to the, leaves dying in fall and turning into winter. And then whenever Persephone has done her half of a year in the underworld, she comes back up to, above ground and is reunited with her mother, and it's spring. That's, the time of abundance and crops are flourishing and mom is happy that her daughter came home. So it's just really interesting. Like, was this a, story about explaining the seasons, just like the one for Greek mythology was? But super interesting. The story of Hades and Persephone dates back to, the 6th century BC, which is like 2,600 years ago. And this myth that we just, uncovered this year is from, 4,425 years ago. That's 2,000 years that this could have been the origin to that Hades Persephone story, and like the themes of food and water, that are consumed in the underworld, binding you to it. There's just a lot of parallels, and I find it very fascinating. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Follow along. I have a podcast where I talk about mythology, science, art, creativity, and just anything that tickles my brain. And I think if you enjoyed this, you might enjoy my podcast. So go check it out.